Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Let's do some sound check and some screen check. Yeah, there is a huge delay. I hope that stream works for you. I hope that the picture is all right and you can see the text. I reckon that delay is about 30 seconds. That's quite unusual. That's my very first webinar. I would say not only on the LinkedIn, but my very first live stream. So if something goes wrong, awesome. Thank you very much, Amir. Appreciate that. You'll probably hear this message in 30 seconds or so. So it's quite weird. Yep. Please pardon me if something goes wrong, because as I said, yeah, that's my very first webinar, and you guys also probably will need to adjust, like maybe next couple of minutes, to my accent so you could understand me better. But anyway, while we're waiting for others to join, so we did the sound check, we did the picture check. That's good. If you could please comment here, just like respond please to the few questions. That will be very helpful for me, and that will be very helpful for me in the preparation for the next webinar. So the questions are: how guys do you use currently Power BI? What is your expectations from this webinar? And what else would you like to learn about the Power BI in the future? Oh, sorry, my picture is overlapping that. Give me a second. I reckon it's time to make me smaller. Not squeeze, but smaller, like that. Yeah, that should do. Maybe even like smaller, so I'm not overlapping anything important. Awesome. So yep, if you guys please comment answering these questions. So how do you use the Power BI? What is your expectation from this webinar, and what else would you like to learn about the Power BI? So I can prepare the next webinar based on your responses, based on your answers. All right, let's start. So today we're gonna to speak about the 4 different things. So first, I'll share with you the cheapest and easiest ways to share the Power BI reports. So how that could be done in the most easier way, let's say, and almost for free. Then we'll discuss some cyber unsafe options, let's say, to share the Power BI reports. Then we'll discuss about the secure options to share Power BI reports, and this, let's say, the recommended options to share them from the Microsoft, of course, and your cybersecurity team. And we will finalize this webinar by discussing a couple of third-party solutions. I assume that you already guys got some experience with the Power BI services, and that will be good if you got Power BI desktop experience as well, but that's not necessary. So the main thing here is the Power BI services. All right, so let's start with the cheapest and easiest options. Don't laugh, please, but that's really things that work, and that most of the time you don't need anything fancy, but you just need to provide some static pictures, let's say. So first option is to take a screenshot. Actually, with the Windows, we got the beautiful snipping tool, which helps you to take the screenshot from any application, any screens you need. And for example, that could be done. The screenshot could be taken from the Power BI desktop application. So you could snip some stuff here and paste it in any document you're currently designing, whether that's Word, email, or PowerPoint presentation. It also could be done via the Power BI services. Oops, the report is not open here. So with the Power BI services as well, so we go to the Power BI services, we are selecting the report we need to take the screenshot from, and we are taking the screenshot. So easy, simple, and quite often it's only thing that you really need. So what else? What other options, the static options we got here? Another option is to export that as the PowerPoint presentation. So there's the option as the embedded image, and you can also export that as the PDF file. The same options you got here in the Power BI desktop application. You got export options here, and you also could export that to the PDF. So that's pretty much it. So how does it look in the in the PowerPoint? It will look like this. So you got this screenshot, you got the picture of your report, and you got a link attached to this picture. And if you click on this link, you'll be navigated to this report page. Like that. If you don't have access, unfortunately, that won't work for you. That's a funny thing, because it's like pointing to the wrong report. But anyway, so that's how it looks like, and that's the static options we got, and that's how we could easily share our reports. Unfortunately, that's not working for all the cases, and that's why we are discussing about the other options as well. So unsafe options, unsafe ways. First, super unsafe thing, it's sharing the Power BI file. So sometimes it's necessary to share the Power BI files if you're working in a team and there's another Power BI, let's say developer, or another Power BI desktop user who wanted to extend the report, who want to add something else to the report, and etc. Why it's highly unrecommended to share the Power BI files with the, let's say, external user or with anyone else? Because apart from the data model you're also sharing all the data related to this report. As you can see in the reports, usually the data is consolidated. You are not providing any, let's say, details here. But when you're sharing the Power BI file, everything goes here. So all the details for your customers, all the details for your transactions, and etc. And I'm pretty sure that you don't want to make this information publicly available. So that's why you shouldn't share the details with your client unless you're aware of the risks that they will have access to the complete data set for your reports. So the next option is to publish your reports to web. So that's a bit safer option, let's say. And how it does, you go to the report, you click File, you click Embed Reports, and here should be an option for that. By default, this option might be switched off by your admins, because that's like not the very secure way to sharing your reports. How to enable that? You click Settings, you go to the admin portal. In admin portal, you are searching for Publish to Web. This option here. So currently, as you can see, it's disabled. We are enabling that and ensure that allow existing and new codes option is selected here, because otherwise you won't be able to create the new codes for new reports. So you click Apply. Hopefully it will allow us to publish the reports now without waiting for the 15 minutes. Usually it works quite quick. So File, Embed Reports. Unfortunately, it's not available yet, but there will be the option here. We will check that a little bit later. Yeah, usually that works straight after the switching it on, but yeah, because it's a live session, as you know, there is always some fancy stuff happening here. Let me check that again. Maybe that will produce, hopefully, embedded reports. Yep, so it's here, the new option here. So we click Publish to the web. Some notification about that this report will be available in public. So we're creating the report. It awares that that will be available to the public on the internet. We are happy with that. We're clicking the Publish. So it's creating the code and it provides you a link. So you got this long link. It's quite difficult to guess this ID, this long ID, and unless you know how to decipher that. With this link, you can share that with anyone. As you can see, I'm using currently the guest session. So there's like, I didn't log into the Power BI, so it's just like available to the public. You usually don't want to share this public reports because although it's, as I mentioned, it's difficult to guess this ID, this long ID. If links for some reason or somehow leaks to the public, so everyone will be able to see these details. And if you got the private information here, and most of the time you do have the private information on your reports, you don't want to leak this link to the public. Okay, let's go to the more secure ways and the recommended ways by Microsoft. So we got options to share the reports directly. We got options to share the workspace. We also got the option to share app. And there is a recent feature, I reckon that maybe 8 months old or something like that. You could export reports in the PowerPoint presentation as live. I don't know much use of that, so it looks like this. As you can see, I can see all these beautiful labels. The reports become interactive. So if I click here, let's say they're changing the data. So it's more interactive. I can see labels. The only use I can see here, if you do the presentation and you wanted to show all these labels, you wanted to show all this interaction with the reports, and you don't want to go to the Power BI services, or maybe you got the user who prefer work with the Power BI. Oh, sorry, Power BI, PowerPoint itself. Okay, so for all these options, you need to have at least Pro license for yourself, and you need to have a Pro license for your users, for your external users, for your guests. And more than that, the users should be in your Azure ad as guests. So how to add the user to your Azure Active Directory? So what you need to do, you're searching for the Azure Active Directory, you click the Add User, and you select the invite option. So this I can definitely show you. So here you will have two options: create a new user in your domain or invite a new user. So you're populating the username, email, maybe some personal message saying like, hello guest user, how you doing? I'm sharing with you my beautiful report. Please have a look, let me know what you're thinking, etc. Also, you can allocate some groups and roles to this particular user, but that's outside of this, out of scope of this webinar. Maybe we'll create another webinar about the groups and roles. So once everything is populated, you click invite, and the guest user will have this email with the link, invitation link. Once they click the invitation link, once they agree to join the organization, after that, you could start sharing the reports, workspaces, and apps with them. For example, here, if I'm typing some guest user.com, let's say, I should receive the error because this user is outside of my organization. But once I add them here in my Azure Active Directory, Azure Ad, as the guests, I will be able to select them here. Similar happens with the workspaces. So if we go to the workspace and sharing that, so we could share the whole workspace with the users. You click access, you're typing here your guest user, you just add it and they accepted the invitation. You're selecting the option, so giving them admin permission, contributor, so they could create the reports here, or the viewer just read only for the reports you already created, for the applications you already created here. So what's next? And next, you might ask, okay, Denis, so do we always need these Pro licenses for ourselves and for our external users? What if we got like thousands of users? For example, if your business case is to share that with let's say with your clients. Yeah, some of the business cases, I didn't mention that at the beginning of the presentation, is that some of the organizations these days, they require to share the reports with the, let's say, investors, with the stakeholders. They require to share reports with the clients, with the regulatory bodies. So there is like many requirements to share the reports, but like another one is to share with like your clients, and the clients could be like there could be thousands of them. And with the cost per license, per pro license is like more than $13 per user. That might be quite expensive. So here you got two options. So first option, if you're buying the premium per capacity, in this case, it starts more than $7,000 a month, Australian dollars per month. So when you're buying this license, you getting the option to share your reports securely with the users that don't require to have this Pro license. So you could add as many guest users without the Pro license as you want. Second option is the Power BI embedded license. So this license is designed for, let's say you got your custom web portal. You're managing access and security inside your portal. So with this license, you will be able to embed your Power BI reports into your secure portal and provide the access to as many users as you like. I haven't used this Power BI embedded license before, being honest, but my understanding that you also could manage that you will be charged based on the usage. Okay, so two options, premium per capacity and Power BI embedded. If you don't want to pay for each user the pro license for each of your guest user. And again, for the pro license, so how the allocation happens, you could allocate yourself to your guest users, or your guest users already could have the pro license itself. For example, they're already working with the Power BI, they got their own workspaces, they got their own reports, so that make it like a little bit easier. So when you start like sharing with them, they already got the license, so you don't need to pay, they don't need to pay anything extra, right? Here for the Power BI embedded license, you also will need actually at least one pro license, because you need this pro license to develop and deploy the reports to the Power BI services. So let's say this Power BI embedded license plus one pro license at least. Okay, so what are the other options might be to share your reports? Actually, there are the third-party solutions already on the market that provide you opportunity to securely share your reports with the public. So one of them is the Reporting Hub. They got quite good pricing. Again, I'm not selling that. I'm not recommending that, because honestly, I haven't worked with the third-party solution. So it's quite cheap, like $200 for the essential. There's like one application, so there is some kind of limitation. But with the Microsoft licensing, for such kind of the arrangement, you will have to have the Power BI embedded license. Probably you're purchasing that with them, or you are purchasing that directly with the Microsoft. So that again, that's like a topic to discuss. Plus, you will need this pro license as well. So my understanding of third-party solution, that they will simplify your life in terms of the building the membership portal, where you could securely share the reports with the external user. And that's pretty much it. And yeah, there was a confusion around the report sharing, because there's again like no clear instructions on the Microsoft website. And I got quite few questions on how to share the reports recently, like for the past few weeks. So I thought that like that might be quite helpful. So there is like no magic, let's say no magic solution where you could easy and cheap share the reports. So if you wanted the secure ways to share the reports, you ending up with buying some licenses, let's say. Whether that pro licenses or whether that like bulk licenses, like premium per capacity or the embedded license. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for being patient. I wish everyone a great afternoon, morning, or whatever time you got.